Good afternoon, it is Saturday the 13th of September. It's just coming up to 1 PM. So I've not been, I haven't done any Uber in fact since last Saturday, which even then was a little bit rubbish. I've just been busy, so throughout the week now I've started my school contract work, which is quite cushy to be honest, because you know exactly what you're getting paid, you know where you need to be at what times, and basically the school run, drop off and pick up would cover, if not you would do more on that price wise than you would coming out and working Uber, especially during the day anyway, and it takes up about 3 hours of your day, something like that. So the contract that I've got is taking 2 pupils from St Helens to Preston and then picking them up from Preston, taking them back to St Helens at home time. That's it, nice and cushy, don't do any Uber during the day. In between that I've just been doing like my airport jobs really. I've done a wedding as well, some guests. I've been out this morning, I've done 2 airport runs this morning. So basically I've just, because it's so cold, it's saying it's 15 degrees, it is freezing. So I've just pulled up now. I've just dropped off at Manchester Airport, I've just got back to Ormskirk. So I've just stopped at the garage now, you know, to use the facilities and get some snacks and whatnot. So I thought I'll jump out, I'll jump on Uber for a bit. I'll swap my magnets over. So just swapping the magnets over, my hands are freezing cold. So I thought, well, if it's freezing, people are more likely to book an Uber, aren't they? Because people hate walking around in the cold. So I'll see what it's like. I've got a full tank anyway. One thing I did notice, there's a new garage that's opened in Ormskirk. I think it's one of them EV, whatever they're called. I can't even remember what the name of the garage is. I'll have to have a look. But it was the first time I've seen it. When you drive past and you normally see obviously the normal price per litre of diesel and petrol, it had underneath 55, and I was like, what's that? And I thought it might be like LPG, but I haven't seen that for years. And when I got a bit closer, it's 55 pence per kilowatt, because they've got rapid charges there now, which is good, because it's the first rapid charges that are now in Ormskirk, because they only had those little daft 7 kilowatt ones, which is what you have at home. Plus it's only 55 pence a kilowatt. I say only, that's quite good, or quite cheap in the rapid charger world, basically 55 pence. I do get it a bit cheaper with BP, you get it about 49, but anyway, it's 55, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than the motorways, which are like 80 plus pence. But yeah, it was just good to see them there, and it was also, it's the first time I've seen the actual price advertised. So if you're not an EV owner, basically the issue you have is, say you're out, you don't really know where you are. Like I went to Wales a couple of weeks back, and I kind of like planned my route on the way down, but I kind of knew that we were going to stop off roughly halfway. I was stopping at an Instavolt, so I kind of knew what the price was going to be during the day, because it comes on the app. But if you're just out during the day and you think, oh, I need a rapid charger, you pull up at one. You either use Google Maps, or it's built into your car. It'll just bring up a big list of all the EV chargers nearby. It doesn't tell you what the prices are. You get there, you need to download an app. You then need to put all your bank cards and everything onto it. It's an absolute palaver. It doesn't just, when you pull up, it doesn't say just plug and play or plug and tap. Some of them are, you can just plug and tap, but still you're sitting there thinking, well, how much is it? You know what I mean? It's a pain. So I was glad to finally see basically a petrol station. You pull up, big massive neon sign, 55 pence a kilowatt. So yeah, it's the first time I've seen that, and yeah, that was about it. So other than that, I haven't really done much else during the week, so I'm going to jump on Uber. I'll see what's happening. I don't want to stay out too late. We've got like a little bit of a trip out. We're going to London tomorrow, so I'm up and out quite early tomorrow. So yeah, I'm just going to run it. That's if it's busy. I'll just use a full tank, so that might be, I don't know, 5-6 hours, depends on what the temperature is like. So yeah, I'll see what happens between now, which is just turned 1 o'clock, and maybe about 5-6 o'clock tonight. So I'll keep you posted. So time for an update. It's just turned 5 o'clock. So it's been 4 hours. It's been kind of busy and then quiet at times as well, but basically each time I was trying to get as close to the hour as possible. And then basically it'd tick over by like 10 or 15 minutes. So then I'd think, oh, I'll do it on the next hour, and then it'd tick over, and then before I knew it was 5 o'clock. So I'm just in Ormskirk now anyway, so I thought, right, I'll finally log off. I was dying for a wee anyway, because it'd been 4 hours. So I thought, yeah, now it's time for a bit of an update. So first job that I was offered, took a screenshot of, classic Uber. They wanted me to go almost 11 miles to Wigan to do a 1.5 mile trip. So it was about a 35-minute trip all in. It was an XL exclusive to me, and they were offering me £7.27. So obviously I didn't do that. I laughed. It's always good to have a little bit of a laugh when you start your shift. Maybe that's why they send you them jobs, just to cheer you up before you start your shift. I then accepted a little job. I was pretty much driving past at the time. It was £6.04 going 6 minutes, which was 1.9 miles. Best going to Ormskirk. Then I had a little Ormskirk to Ormskirk job. It was an XL, £7.32, 5-minute job going 1.5 miles. Still in Ormskirk, £3.78. That was a 4-minute job going 1.3 miles. Then had an Ormskirk to Ormskirk, £6.41, including a pound tip. That was 7 minutes going 1.8 miles. What time did it take me to? It was only past. Didn't realise I'd done so many jobs in the first hour. I then took a job which I ballsed up on this one. So basically on the other job, I was talking to him, I think I was on a bit of a roundabout, and a job popped up and it said like £15 something. So as you know, you've only got like 5 or 6 seconds to have a quick glance, and I seen 15 minutes. So I had in my head straight away, oh, I'll accept it, 15 quid, 15 minutes, happy days. So dropped this guy off, and it wasn't £15 for 15 minutes. It was £15.75, but I had to drive 15 minutes to go and pick the customer up, to then drive 15 minutes into Southport. So it was a half an hour job. Oh, fucking hell. So yeah, it was a bit of a balls up, but I could have cancelled, but a little bit of OCD, like my cancellation rate is on 0, so I didn't want to cancel. And then I thought, well, if it's paying £15.75 and all in, it's a half an hour job, so still it's not too bad of a job given the time, you know, because at this point it was 22:02, but basically I didn't drop them off until after 2 o'clock. So I don't know if that's technically classed as that hour or the hour after, I'm not sure. But if it's in the first hour wasn't too bad. That was like, what, 13, 16, 24. So it was about 24 or 25. If you're going to count that other 15, that takes you up to about £40. But then bearing in mind, that then ran into the second hour. Second hour, I was then in Southport. My next job didn't come through until 23 minutes past 2. So I've lost like 15-20 minutes of that first hour. And even then, that was a little £5.69, 7-minute job going 2.3 miles. Then another tiny job, £5.35. That was a 5-minute job going 1.2 miles. I then accepted a job again, which took me into the next hour. £25. It was going from Southport to Rufford. So it was a 19-minute job going 8.8 miles. So it was good paying, to be honest. So I turned up to this job. I seen these 4 people walking over. One has like a little Zimmer frame. I'm guessing with her partner, who was, you know, elderly as well. And then there was a couple who were a bit younger, and they were big. And I mean, like, I know a guy who used to be 25 stone, and she was bigger than him. So I reckon she was a good 28, maybe 29 stone. She was massive. So I thought, well, that's obviously why they've booked an XL. So I'll pull up anyway, open the door for them, I get out, open the boot, put the old Deers, you know, Zimmer frame in the boot. I get in, so the Al girl gets in first with the Al fella. And then she's trying to climb in the back, and I'm thinking, like, you know, I've got, you know, the big sliding doors, you know what I mean? It's a big gap, and I'm thinking she's a big girl. And I'm thinking, like, I don't think she's going to get in. So she's trying to get herself in, and she's stepping on the side, and as she's stepping on it, the bus is like that, and I'm like, so obviously I'm not going to say anything, like, so I can hear her say, no, I can't get in. So then next thing, her fella starts trying to push it in. So I'm like, right, okay, so I'm sitting there just like looking out the window thinking, I don't know where to look here. So he's trying to push it in, and as he's pushing it in, I'm honestly sat in the front, and I'm moving like that, and I'm thinking, fucking hell. So then the guy who's in the back, he's like, yeah, I'll help you. So he's got her arm, and he's pulling as her partner's on the outside, pushing her ass, trying to push it in. Fucking hell, so the fucking bus is like this, I'm sitting there in the front, like, just don't know where to look. And then I'm honestly thinking to myself, the only way you're going to get her in is by lubing up the seals on that door. There's no way you're going to get it in. And if you do get it in, how are you going to get it out? So anyway, this went on for like another 30 seconds or so. And then she went, no, that's it, I'm not going. And just starts walking off. So I'm like, I don't know what to say, like, what am I supposed to do? And then her fella just turned around and walked off as well. So I turned around to the guy in the back, and I was like, what do you want me to do then, mate? He was like, yeah, no, it's fine, just shut the door, mate, no worries, we'll just get off. And I was like, are you sure, like, you're just leaving them? And he was like, yeah, I don't think she wanted to come anyway before we even left the house, to be honest. So I was like, right, okay, yeah, sound. And that was it, so we just got off. So yeah, dropped them off, wasn't too bad, like I said, it was only like, it was a 19-minute job, but we probably spent about 5 minutes trying to get her in, to be honest, so it's about a 25-minute job. So like I said, that then took me into the next hour. So with that hour, maybe if you split it over that hour, so that was, what, about 11, if you take half of that, so that was about, I don't know, £22-23 for that hour. Going into the next hour, if we take half of that, so we're about £12 in. After I just dropped them off, I thought, because I was in Rufford, which is like Bearscough, I thought I'll start heading back into Ormskirk, and then a job popped up from a pub directly opposite from where I was. So I took that, but it was the tiny job, it was £3.81, going 5 minutes, but it was going 1 mile. So got them in, I think they were out, it was like a younger couple, say younger couple, like they must have been, 40s or 50s or something, but they were out with their mum, who must have been 70, maybe 80 or something, celebrating the birthday. So we dropped them off anyway, and then she's climbing out, and she slips on the step. So I was like, oh, you're okay, love? And then she's like, oh, slippy steps these, you want to tell people to be careful here. Her daughter's in the back, she's like, Mum, you're nearly 80. She said, you're pissed and you've got heels on. She said, it's got nothing to do with her step, it's you. So yeah, it was quite funny. So anyway, dropped them off, stayed in Ormskirk, little £5.64, that was a 9-minute job though, going 2 miles, quite a bit of traffic. And then accepted a job, which was Ormskirk going over to Skem. Again, that was towards the end of the hour. So that hour was a bit slower, because that probably come to about £22-23 again. This job I accepted, it was like 5 to 4 at this point. So including the £2 tip, it was £11.87, 14 minutes going 7.6 miles. Dropped him off in Skem, and then there just seemed to be no jobs whatsoever. It just seemed to completely die. So I looked at the time at that point, and it was what's that? So I dropped them off, and it was about 10 past. Yeah, 10 past 4, and I had to wait about 20 minutes for my next job. But I was heading from Skem, coming back into Ormskirk, and I had a little look at when I last worked, which was last Saturday for Uber, and I started at 12:30 and I finished at 4:30 because it was just completely dead. I remember I was sat here, this is the same petrol station I was sat in, it was completely dead, and the same thing happened again, it just completely died. I think it was just by a little bit of sheer luck. I was driving past Edgehill University, and an XL job popped up, £6.70, it was going 5 minutes, which was 2 miles. They must have all come over from like Ireland, and they were just going to the Sandpiper, so this little pub 2 miles away, and that's where they were all staying, because they all had like little carry-on luggages and stuff. So I picked up the first group of 6, went and dropped them off, and just as I dropped them off, that was £6.70, another Excel job popped up, again from the university, going to the same pub, but this time got paid a little bit more. It was £7.32. Again, 5-minute job, going 2 miles. So I'll drop them off. So that was about 20 to 5, and then I drove down back into Ormskirk. I think I've been offered 1 job since then, and that was miles away. It was like an Uber Teens all the way to Wigan somewhere, ridiculous. And that was about it. So like I said, dropped them off, drove back down here. I'd logged off pretty much bang on 5 o'clock. So in that last 25 minutes, I didn't have a job. And at the beginning of that hour, I didn't have a job for about 20 minutes. So about 45 minutes of having no jobs. So yeah, it's just gone really crap. So it's just coming up to 5:15 now, because I've been in here and obviously had a wee and I've been waffling here. So I don't know. I'm probably going to log back online and see if something comes up. But it just seems so like it's such a coincidence that it's died at exactly the same time as it died last week. So anyway, I'm on £110.73. Over the 4 hours, that's coming out at £27.68. So not too bad. You know, you can take off £3 of tips there as well, so probably brings it down to about £27 an hour, but still good considering, you know, I have been cherry picking a bit. I thought I took a screenshot at the end. Yeah, I've been offered 32 trips and I've done 13. So like I said, if you don't cherry pick, you are going to get some stupid jobs. I think I took a screenshot of another daft job. What was that one? Yeah, I think that's when I was in Bearscope before. They wanted me to go 7 miles to Skem to do a 5-mile trip. So all in, it was about 35 to 40 minutes, and it was about 50 miles. It was a multi-stop, exclusive to me, and it was 13 quid. But again, it just doesn't pay. So they're kind of like some of the little crappy jobs that are coming through. You've just got to stay clear. So I've accepted about a third of the jobs that's come through to me, but it's paid off because I've been cherry picking. So yeah, like I said, I'll go back on now. I'm just looking at the map. It's saying there's not much happening here, but apparently in Bearscope, which is like 7 or 8 minutes away, it's surging apparently. But we all know that just means that there isn't really any drivers there, so Uber want you to gallop all the way over there, and then the second you turn off, they'll basically delete that surge cloud. So yeah, I won't be chasing that, but yeah, up to now not too bad. Like I said, I'll log back on. I'll give it half an hour. I'm not even going to give it an hour because I can't be faffed. But if it's ticking over and I'm getting some decent jobs, not too bad. But I'm not holding out for it, to be honest. When I'm up to now, I've used just over half a tank up to now, so it's not too bad. I think it said I've done about 3 hours 12 minutes driving. Has this even started? I haven't even started to get it. 52. I'm just waiting for the stupid thing to go. I've done 81 miles, and considering it's freezing cold, I've been getting 3.4 miles per kilowatt, which isn't too bad, to be honest. So yeah, I will keep you updated. I say keep you updated if it's a bit like the ending of last week's video. So basically, if you don't hear from me again, it's because I've hung around for about maybe half an hour. It's been crap, so I've just gone home. So I feel like it's pointless me just doing another update to say it was crap. But yeah, if it is a bit busier, then I will see you in about an hour's time.